Hello students, today we are going to study functions in C. So what are the functions? Functions are nothing but set of instructions or group of instructions in order to achieve a specific task. Okay, so for example, to get the square root of a number, to arrange the numbers in ascending or descending order, okay, to calculate maximum of a number, like that, some task, okay, depending upon the requirement, some task we are writing the function. So the function are generally to group the instructions which are repeated many times, okay, like for loops and other things, okay, text of a function. So one function is compulsory, should be there in our program is main is also a function. Okay, so what are the things we required in any function? First of all, we required a data type or a return type. So any function, if it is there, so that function should have a return type, means it should return some value. If it does not return any value, I have to declare it as a void. For that reason, we usually declare it as void main, because main will not return any value. Okay, so other than, for example, square root of a number, what it will return? It will return a number, so I have to declare it as int sqrt, square root of a number, or any name I can specify. So int indicate the return type. And so variables, what I am using for the input variables, we have two things. One is input variables and output variables. So input variables to the function and output variables for the function. So in order to get the square root of a number, we required what are the variables we required, those variables we have to write here. And what are the return type, what return value it is doing, what it is written, that is indicated like this. Okay, it is returning an integer. So we are so for a square root of a number, the input is some variable, and we are writing the program to get the square root of a number. And then we'll take one small example in order to return the maximum of two numbers. Okay, so here first of all, the return type is integer. So the result what I am getting is an integer. The input what I am taking is also an integer x1, integer x2 are the input to this function. Okay, now we are checking the either x1 is greater or x2 is greater. We are using if statement. If x1 is greater than x2, if x1 is greater than x2, then return x1, else return x2. Means if it is not greater than x1, definitely it should be lesser than x1. If it is equal also, then no problem, we will get the value. Okay, so if the return, if the I can use like this, if x1 is greater than or equal to x2, then return x1, else return x2. So we will get the result either x1 or x2 in our program. So we will go for main program. In our main program, so we are writing hash include stdio.h, then void main should be there in our program, right? Main function should be void because it is not returning any value. So let us define an array. Okay, we will define array of numbers. So I'll take an array called array A, an array of 10 numbers I want. Okay, so I'll take the numbers 1, 5, 8, okay, 6, 4, okay, 16, like this. So we want to know the largest among these numbers. Okay, so we'll take randomly. So here the value is 2. So among these numbers, I want to know the largest among these numbers. Okay, how many numbers are there? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers are present. Okay, if I start from 0, it is 4. If I start from 1, 2, 3, it is 5 numbers. Okay, now I want to know the maximum among these numbers. So for that reason, we are taking another one variable called I. Okay, so we are using a for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than, okay, here I will take another variable as result. Result is also required for me. Okay, so for I is equal to 0, I less than, how many numbers are there? 5 numbers. I less than 5, I plus plus. Okay, so here in this program, I am giving the name of the function. What is the name of the function I have? the name of the function is max. So I am writing max of, so and that value I am returning to my result. Okay, so result is equal to max of result comma a of I. Okay, bracket, small bracket I have to put. So I think you can notice. So I am putting the small bracket. Okay, so here what happens, starting the value of the result will be 0. If I don't give any value, it is 0 only. Okay, so starting the maximum value is 0 comma a of I. A of I means the a of 0 is 1. So 0 comma 1, which is maximum among this. So maximum 1 is 1. So that 1 value will be assigned to my result. Then in the second iteration, so the value of the result is 1 and the value of a of I value is 2 because it is incremented every time. So the value of I is 1. Okay, so a of 1 is 5. So here we will get 5, 1 comma 5. So which is maximum among 1 comma 5? 5. So 5 will go to the result. Okay, in next iteration 5 and 8 will be computed. In next iteration 8 and 4 will be computed, and 4 and 8 and 2 will be computed. Finally we will get 8 as a result. Okay, so this function what I have written, so this function either I can write before main, means in this position I can write this program, or I can write the program after main. Okay, so if I write the program before main, so no need of declaration, so just directly I can write the program. If I am writing the program after main, I required the declaration in the place of main. So the declaration should be like this, which type of return type I am using. Okay, integer, so max. So the variables what I am using inside this, that is int comma int, is, and with a semicolon in between. Okay, so let us see this one in our computer. You can see the result of the program is like this. Okay, so the program what I have written is, so hash include stdio.h. So a function is written, so which will calculate maximum of 2 integers. It will check if first integer is greater or second. If first is greater than second, then it will return first, else it will return the second. Okay, so now we will go for the main program. In this main program we have written void main. Okay, so we have declared an array, and then so in this array we have taken we are considering result is equal to 0, starting result is equal to 0. Next the result is compared with the first number, so among these two which is highest, that is returned. Next it is compared with second number, next it is compared with the third number. Among these two which is highest, that will be taken into the result. Okay, so result is equal to maximum of result comma a of I. Starting the result is 0. Next 0 is when compared to 1, the result will become 1. Then when 1 is compared with 5, so the result will become 5. When 5 is compared with 8, the result will become 8. Okay, and when result is compared with 4, the result is once again 8 only, because 8 is larger compared to 4. And lastly, when the result is compared with 2, it is once again 8, because 8 is larger than 2 also. I think you understood. So in this way we are writing a function. So how we have declared a function? So we have declared the function like this. So initialize max int x1 comma integer of x2. Okay, so here this same program can be written, same function can be written next to the main. So if we are writing the body of the program or a function after main, so here we have a main program and we are writing the function after main. Before we have written the program this function before main, now we have written this function after main. If we are writing the function after main, at that time before main we have to declare that function. So this function that is maximum of 2 numbers should be declared before the main. Whatever the functions we are writing, it should be declared. So in declaration, what are the things required? We required the return type, the function name, and the data types of the variables. How many variables are there? So within the bracket we have to write how many variables, input variables we are using, and the data types of these variables. Here I should not declare it as int x1 comma int x2. I should not write. Just I have to write the data types of the variables which we are using, and we have to put a semicolon. Okay, there should be a semicolon at the end. So in previous case, so if we are writing the function directly there, so no, with the function we should not write the semicolon, but with the declaration we have to write the semicolon. So here in the declaration part we have to write a semicolon. Okay. Instead of writing and of a of I am writing and of a of I, and in the sense it indicates the address of this value. Okay, so instead of sending the value directly, I am sending the address. So that address will be picked up by a pointer. So this address is taken into a pointer x2, and the value of that pointer is used for comparison. The value of that pointer is used for comparison. Okay, it means indirectly we are sending the value. So sending the value by like this we call by the name as sending the value through reference, through pointer. Okay, either we can send the value through pointer, or we can send the value, direct value we can send, or argument we can send, or we can send the reference. Okay, using that reference here it is doing this operation. Okay, so either if I can send the address here and of a of I, so now the address of this one is taken in the variable, and this variable is used for comparing the values. Okay.